have a relatively small session and we will focus on one specific topic today. Let me first share my screen, and if you guys are expecting a joke, let me give you the joke first. So you guys want a joke or no?
Yeah.
You guys want a joke? Okay. All right. So there you go. Oh, I hope you guys are able to see it. Okay. No, na?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. So typically you have wherever the problems can be, there are only problems here. Okay. So three things: your data, your format, and your formulas. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the first one. So we are still at the first one, analyzing the data and so on. This sort of slightly crosses the boundary of analysis, but at the same time it stays within that also. So I'll tell you what I mean by that. But it also, so what we are going to talk about today is what's called Excel tables. Okay. So let me just go over to the Excel sheet at this point in time. Okay, so what generally, see, if you look at, like I mentioned last time, right? So a number of people use Excel for storing data. Okay, storing, retrieving data, and putting the data back. And storing it. They keep on sort of maintaining the data over a period of time. Okay, so I'll tell you some of the problems that people face, and the nature of it, and then what is it that Excel solves. All right, so tables solve. Okay, by the way, there is another sort of another table in Excel, and that's a bit of a confusing thing. But these are used for completely different purposes. Okay, so when you go to insert, okay, there's something called table. This is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, there is another one. I think that is, let me see if it is in data. No, I think it should be, yeah, it is in data. So in what if analysis, you have what is called data table. Okay, but this is not what I'm talking about. We will come to that at the appropriate point in time. Okay, I'm not talking about that right now. So what I'm talking about is insert table, very close to pivot table. That's where it is. Okay. Okay. So first, let's look at what is the problem, and then we'll come to how this gets solved. All right. So let me see. I would like to. Okay. Cool. So okay. So see, if you have a so it says currency segment. Sorry, this is supposed to be city. All right. Okay. So now you have a table like this. Okay, and you have certain sales. Okay, and then you have the information listed right there. Now let's assume that you have two formulas. So you have created the formulas there. All right. So there is one is sales, the other one is average sales. Clear now? Okay. Now let us say you want to add a new city. Okay. Let's say Kolkata. All right, and you have some amount of sales. Okay, so now, this is actually funny that it has happened. But many times what happens is they have actually made an improvement in Excel, but right now there is something that has happened, there is something that hasn't happened. You tell me what has happened here and what has not happened, or you tell me what has happened. That should be sufficient.
It has taken the new row in the formula to change problem.
Exactly. Okay, so what has happened is, if you look at the formulas, right, the formulas have updated in order to accommodate Kolkata also in the analysis. Okay, but what has not happened should also be obvious.
Graph just never.
The chart did not update to that. Okay, so so this is the problem that tables solves. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So if you look at the same thing right here, so I will add the same thing here, and let's see what happens here and there. Okay. data. So 1257. Okay, and I'll add the same thing here. Okay. All right. Now, do you see the difference? Are you able to see the chart?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what has happened here is that it has sort of updated the chart with the new city. So basically what's happening here is that here there is a table, and this is a way for you to tell Excel that, hey, this thing I'm using like a table. Okay, so there are certain associated features with this as opposed to not being there. So let's figure out how to do this and what are some of the additional features that we can get from this one. All right, so let me just go over this. And so first of all, how you do this is very simple, right? You use the table, it's already there, so that's why it's not showing it, it's now grayed out. But if I were to sort of do this, okay, you can click on this and get your table right here, like it happened here. But I think the thing here is that you can also convert it back if you like. Okay, you click on this, you can convert it back to a normal range. Okay, right now it is no longer a table, even though the formatting still stays. Okay, got it? Formatting is still there, but it's no longer a table. For example, so if I go to this, you get the table design and you get a new menu. So it's identifying as a new table. Here it is not identifying as a new table. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So what do you get with a table? Okay. So you get the following things. One is you automatically get certain filters and all of that, which you can also easily enable. You can also disable it. So does anyone remember the shortcut for filters?
Control-Shift-L.
Perfect. Control-Shift-L. Okay. So you can remove it if you like. Also, for example, if you would like to add a formula, okay, to this one. So there's only one column, so you can't actually do much with one column. But I will do it. So let's say I will call it multiple, just for the heck of it. Okay. And let's say we want to multiply this. You can insert any formula, but let's say you want to do like that. Okay. So I think what has happened is very obvious. So it basically copy paste the formula, okay, across.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a useful tool, and chart also updated, so that's a good thing. All right. But let me just see. Actually, this is something that I'm experimenting right now. Let's say if you want to multiply this with 3, let's see what happens. That's a problem here. Okay. So what a regular Excel whatever, just a bunch of data, what that does is it gives you the flexibility to be able to use different functions, different formulas for different rows if you would like to. Many times you would want to do that. Okay. So a quick example of this is, let's say you're calculating sales commissions for salespeople, right? So how they are compensated could be different by different individuals. Okay, because one person is like 15 years of experience. This guy sort of does X amount of sales, but there is another one who has just joined, for example. Okay, the new joinees will have a different formula. 15 years guy will have a different formula. Right?
Yes.
So like that, you'll be able to do it for that. But if you use a table there, you cannot do it because it sort of forces you to apply the same formula. Right? So I think there could be some options, but it is sort of see, look at this. Okay, stop automatically creating calculated columns. Okay, so you have the option, but many times what happens is if you give it to a different individual, for example, right, the same sheet, that person may not know that you can do this, and so there is a possibility of errors when you have things automatically done. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So okay, I'll get this back. Suddenly I lost you guys in terms of what you guys are, your reactions are and so on. Okay. So is it blocking any part of the screen, guys?
No.
No. Okay, excellent, perfect. That's good. Okay. Okay. So this is one part. All right. So let's look at some of the other aspects to it. Okay. I think the chart updating, you guys automatically got it. So let us look at some of this. So let me tell you a little bit about one other chart updating stuff, which is also relevant from the point of view of pivot table. I'll tell you a little bit about that. Okay. So typically, see, though you have a table right here, say I'm directly making this into a chart, right? So here and here, I'm making this into a chart. Okay. So typically, see, this is not how it works, right? So what we have to do is, you will first have data. From data, you would have to make a summary, and the summary is what you can chart, right? Unlike Tableau, for example, in Tableau, what do? We directly just drag and drop, and there's no summary in between. You directly summarizes and gives you the chart, right? So okay. Let me just cover a couple of topics here and I'll come back to that part, okay? So just staying with the tables here. So there's a way for you to design this table. I think quite obvious, but I'll tell you. See, sometimes, so this formatting itself is a little, too much formatting for us here, right? So it will sort of let you, the banded rows, you can remove it, if you would like to, right? I'm not so sure. So you can obviously format it and get to a slightly, little less prominent formatting like I have done here. And then, whether or not, if you want it, you can sort of get the formatting, but, obviously you can look at the other stuff. See, filter button, you can, remove it. Banded columns sometimes is useful. So if you can remove this, for example, right? Banded columns are also useful. So you can sort of figure out, which column, much better if you are sort of moving left to right and so on and so forth. You can also remove the header row if you would like. Okay, so these are some of the things that you can do. Let me just see. So there are some other ones. So slicer is something that I will sort of cover quickly in the next one. Yeah, so you also have what's called remove duplicates. I think, has anyone used remove duplicates before?
Yes.
Okay, useful when you have, let's say, for example, I will do that over here, and you don't necessarily have to do it here. There is another way of doing it also. For example, let me just do this for you. So you take Bengaluru, right? So I have copy pasted that. And right now you want to remove duplicates, okay? You can actually go to data, and you can use, I think this is the one. Yeah, remove duplicates. So you click on this. So it will basically look at that. And there you go. It will remove duplicates. So this will be very useful when you have large amounts of data. And if you have to deduplicate and you want unique records, you can do this, okay? So similarly, you can do that in table design also. Let me, so you can do that in remove. You guys can see the thing, right? Okay. So certain other things. So typically, it will have a not so great title. It automatically assigns a name to it. Okay. So for example, you can actually rename it, and the name will stay. So whenever you refer to this table, right? So basically, yeah, there you go. When I went to this one, it actually goes and highlights. It names the city, the table as city sales. Okay. It will make it easier when, let's say, you have like 5 or 6 tables. Okay. Instead of, and then you have a formula like, go to table 1, pick up this, go to table 2, pick up this, go to table 3, pick up this, right? Then if you have the names, it will be much easier. For example, if it says, okay, go to the salesperson's table, okay, and then look up something, and then go to, let's say, the commission table, okay, commission percentage table, pick up that, and go to the sales table, apply this, okay, then the formula will become much more intelligible, okay, for another individual. So this is something we come across very commonly in models, okay, whenever we do financial or other models. Okay, so what you're actually doing is you're actually referring to all of this. In fact, we did a very large sales commission table, wherein the sales commission itself is a repetitive calculation. So for example, if the person's sales are at this level, then you have one commission table applying. If it is at a slightly higher level, then there's a different commission table applying, and so on and so forth. Okay. So in that case, you actually have a large formula, and the formula reads something like this. Okay, it says, go to this particular sheet, range this to this. Okay, go to another sheet, range this to this. Go to another sheet, range this to this. And now the person is looking at that particular formula and thinking, what is happening here? Okay, I'm not able to understand it. So many times what we have to do is, we will have to give the formula in English. Okay. And this helps you a little bit to write it in English. So if you just go to F2, which is when you get the formula. Okay, so for example, let me just hit enter right here. Okay, so we have certain, oops, sorry. Okay, so it has automatically taken something there. Okay, so we have this. So now if you hit F2, just for information, if you hit F2, you will get the formula. Sometimes people also use this to be able to read the formula. If the formula is very large, you can just mouse over and then you'll be able to read it a little better than before. I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yes.
a little bit. Okay. All right, so let me just get back to this. Let me see what else we have here. Let me see if there is anything else I need to cover here. Otherwise, we'll just move over to a different one. Okay, I think, yeah, we will now go over to a different section right now. So let's look at this. So again, so what I've done is, so we have a small table here, okay? Let me just get this out here. So I just took a small portion of the Superstore data table and I just created a table out of that, okay? And this is it. So what you can do is, so in table design, so I have already inserted the table right here. You know how to do that. You have an option to insert a slicer, okay? So we did a slicer before. So we already have segment right there. So let me pick up city right here, okay? Or actually let me pick up the state right here. I think the number of things will be much fewer, okay? So simple, just like the previous one. So if you would like to select, and slice it, you'll be able to do that here. So for example, you just click on home, okay? Or actually there are too many probably. Oh, sorry, this is not actually working right now. Let me see if I can get it to work. No, it is not working for some reason. I'm going to delete this for now. Remove segment. I think I inserted this one just now. Let me just do that right here. Okay, there you go. Okay, and you can click on this. You can click on this. So this is a way for you to filter data. Okay, so Shravan, as an example for you, right? You can potentially use this. Let's say, remember, sometimes we look at how many are in, let's say, this specific stage, interview stage, how many are there, right? How many are in, let's say, a different stage, like, whatever, for one-day testing or whatever. Then you can actually use this to filter the data very quickly. Yeah. So, so this is so far as this one is concerned. So now let me go over to pivot table. So, so just like, so when you have a data like this, right? One of the things that people need is this. So let's assume that, let's say, for example, I'll actually make an example here. Okay, so I will call this regular. Okay, and so, and I'm going to also remove the, I'm going to convert it to a regular range. Okay, now I'm going to actually make a pivot out of this. All right, so insert pivot table. All right, and I'm going to place it right here. So we will do a regular thing, which is we will get the sales, we'll get the segment. Okay, where's the segment? Okay, segment is right here, so I'll get the segment right here. Okay, so we got the pivot table right here. Okay, now let's assume, so in many situations, what our clients and a lot of people do is they have a table that they keep maintaining, and they're going to keep adding data at the end. Okay, and now let us assume that there is a new data point that has come in, and all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add in this segment, and I'm going to add some sales to it, because these are the only two fields that we are using. Okay, so I'll call this corporate, and let me just go over and enter in sales. Okay, so sales is right here. Let's say this is 1,500. Okay, now I come back. Okay, now there's a pivot table right here, so I would like to refresh it. Okay, so I refresh, so you just note the numbers right now. Okay, so I entered in corporate, so 1004. Let's see what happens. Okay, I refreshed it. Okay, did you guys see anything changing? No? Okay, nothing has changed. Okay, now I have formatted it. Apart from that, nothing has changed. Okay, Okay, now let's look at this. Now let's look at the sheet 1. Okay, sorry, table 1, and I'll do the exact same thing here. So as you guys can see, the table is already created. By the way, do you guys notice something unusual? Do you guys notice anything? Guys, did you guys notice anything?
It's hard to say what.
Okay. So let me tell you that to you guys, okay? So basically, if you move up, the column names have gotten replaced with the names of the the column names, as in the letters, have gotten replaced with the names of the table headings. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So
okay. It is a cool new feature. So go ahead.
yeah, no.
So what's the purpose? How is it useful, right?
Yeah.
So the way it's useful is that typically what we do is, if you have large amounts of data, what you do is you have to freeze the top row in order to continue seeing the headings. Okay. Here, even if you scroll down, it will sort of continue to show that for you.
Yes.
So that's a benefit that we get out of this. Okay. So now let's come back. So this is the table that we already have. And now let's look at this. So I will do the same thing, which is corporate again. Okay. And I'm going to add the same 1,500 in sales. Okay. Okay. Now let's come back and let's see that over here. And I'm going to do the same refresh right now here. And there's also a chart that's created. So I'm format it. Okay. So I'm going to refresh it right now. Okay. Let's see the refresh. There you go. Did you notice any difference?
Yeah.
Right. So the 1,500 got added to corporate, and the chart also got updated automatically. Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the pivot table doesn't update automatically. Okay. But here it has been, it's able to. So right now, so the refresh is still manual, but the data got updated. Okay, when you do a refresh. Okay. So otherwise, just so you know, what you have to do, by the way, is if you go back to this one, this is the one that we added, right? So what you have to do is this: you have to right click, or you can go to pivot table. And I think so. If you look at change data source, you have to go to change data source. See, right now, if you look at it, it doesn't include row number 21. Okay, you have to do this. You have to click OK. Now you have to come back here. Now it got updated. 2,505. Got it? Now this is what you're supposed to do. Now what it's able to do is just a single refresh is able to do it. Okay. Cool. Let me just see if there is anything else I would like to cover in this. Okay, so there is actually one thing. Let me see. Yeah, so if I just go back to the same table. Okay, so this is a table, right? You have an option actually to do a total row. Okay, so this is interesting because see at the bottom it has added only for one. Okay, I wish it has added to both actually, but you have that option. So whenever you do this, if you add any additional rows, you don't have to update the column. As it is, if you have something right in between, if you add a new row, you don't have to update the formula. But in any case, you have what's called a total row. That's something that I just wanted to add. When you click on it, you don't have to add the total manually. But unfortunately, it seems to have added just for the last one and not for sales. I thought it would just add for this one also. So in fact, you can also sort of modify what you want to do with it. Okay, for example, you can do average, and it has done average for this one. Okay, so here also you can just go ahead and change that. Okay, so that's the situation. Let me see if there is anything else that I would like to add. So swap, for your information, So you have what is called export table to SharePoint. Did you use that before in our that project that we did? Or maybe Akhil would know this. Akhil? No, right?
We actually use VBA code to do this.
Yeah. So there is something called export table, but I'm not so sure if it will automatically update, etc. We'll have to check that. But there is this option that will be useful for you. Okay. I think basically any questions, guys?
No, not from my side.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, cool. All right. So this is all I wanted to cover today.